Good evening and welcome to the Channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The UK Labour Party has won a landslide victory in the general elections, sweeping hundreds of seats across the country and ending 14 years of Conservative rule.
We did it!
There were cheers and celebrations as it became clear Sir Keir Starmer was to be appointed Prime Minister, ending a tumultuous era which has seen 5 different Conservative leaders running the country.
Change begins now.
Labour is projected to form the next government with a majority of 170. The Tories are set for their worst result in their history. Earlier, Rishi Sunak, the outgoing Prime Minister, delivered this final statement outside Downing Street.
Good morning. I will shortly be seeing His Majesty the King to offer my resignation as Prime Minister. To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters. I have heard your anger, your disappointment, and I take responsibility for this loss. To all the Conservative candidates and campaigners who worked tirelessly but without success, I am sorry that we could not deliver what your efforts deserved. It pains me to think how many good colleagues who contributed so much to their communities and our country will now no longer sit in the House of Commons.
People will be waking up to the news, relieved that a weight has been lifted, a burden finally removed from the shoulders of this great nation. And now we can look forward again, walk into the morning, the sunlight of hope, pale at first, but getting stronger through the day.
President Joe Biden is facing pressure from some major Democratic donors as he faces a critical few days in his campaign for re-election. A number of donors are publicly warning they will withhold funds unless Mr. Biden is replaced as the party's candidate, following his disastrous debate performance last week. They include Abigail Disney, an heiress to the Disney family fortune, Hollywood producer Damon Lindelof, Hollywood agent Ari Emanuel, and philanthropist and entrepreneur Gideon Steen. Coast Guards in Mauritania have recovered 89 bodies of migrants from a boat that capsized in the Atlantic Ocean. 9 people, including a 5-year-old girl, were rescued, but dozens more are missing. Survivors say the vessel, a traditional fishing boat, set sail last week from the Senegalese-Gambian border area with 170 people on board. EU leaders have expressed concern over media reports that Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán may be meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Mr. Orbán, whose country now holds the EU rotating presidency, is the bloc's only head of national government to have kept close ties to the Kremlin following its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. European Council President Charles Michel said Mr. Orbán had no mandate to engage with Russia on behalf of the EU, while Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk asked for clarification. Samsung Electronics expects its profits for the 3 months to June 2024 to jump 15-fold compared to the same period last year. An artificial intelligence boom has lifted the prices of advanced chips, driving up the firm's forecast for the second quarter. The South Korean tech giant is the world's largest maker of memory chips, smartphones and televisions. The announcement pushed Samsung shares up more than 2% during early trading hours in Seoul. The firm also reported a more than 10-fold jump in its profits for the first 3 months of this year. And a new space observatory in Cyprus looks like it just uncloaked itself on the set of a sci-fi movie and is ready for takeoff. Perched high on the Troodos Mountains in the centre of the island, and with an unobstructed view of the skies, the €1.7 million publicly funded Troodos Observatory was inaugurated in May. Purveyors hope the project will encourage visitors to areas increasingly affected by urbanisation and broaden a depth of celestial knowledge. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel's studios in Lagos.